Jai Guruji.
Jai Guruji.
So, Rebirth, chapter 28 of Divine Light. Let go and let Guruji drive the vehicle of our lives. Once the individual is steeped in faith, it can never be shaken off. But at times, life takes over and our connection weakens. Guruji speaks to us, but owing to our clouded mind, we fail to hear him. Hence, we spiral into doubt and despair, which we all do from time to time. We all spiral into doubt and despair, no matter how strong our faith is. So, faith has a mind of its own also. None of us can fathom the extent to which Guruji is protecting us, but when we are close to a head on collision, our eyes open wide, we realize a measure of his love. So, living in awareness, even when we are in despair, awareness of his presence in our lives, and to be in gratitude because things could have been worse. Like he said, "Main hamesha tuhade naal aa, dukh vich vi, sukh vich vi." It was early February 2012. I had returned from a pleasure trip to London. Sonakshi flew to Manchester to meet her grandmother, and subsequently, both of us flew to Florence, Italy, as she had signed up for a semester there. After settling her down in Florence, I flew back to Manchester and glued myself to the computer to consciously write this very book, Divine Light. I knew in the depth of my heart that again Guruji would send me off somewhere or another, so I must work diligently in the book. Meanwhile, a thick white sheet of snow had spread across Manchester, and my niece Damini Pasi, a Sangat member, came from Birmingham to spend the weekend with me to take a break from her university. I decided to drive to the mall with her, which was a challenge as the snow has settled on the motorway. Throughout the trip, we played Guruji's Shabad in the car and decided that we wouldn't talk, but instead focus on the soulful melodies. We reached safely, spent a few hours there in the mall, and on our return, 2 minutes away from my home, my car skidded on the main road and I completely lost control. There was traffic on both sides of the road and I screamed in sheer frenzy. I resigned to my destiny as there was nothing to prevent the impending accident. Guruji, with his outstretched hands, stopped both the cars coming from both sides, and Damini and I escaped unscathed. I cautiously thereafter drove home and prepared chai prasad for both of us and lit a candle before Guruji's photograph as a mark of gratitude. As I sipped on the tea, I felt my entire body shudder with what could have been. My mind was in a frenzy at the thought of the accident. I gazed at his photograph. Guruji, I'm not ready to go yet. I have many miles to go, I said. Your grace is truly inexpressible and unfathomable. Thank you for always keeping me under your wing and for teaching me never to grumble, but instead to be grateful for every moment, as perhaps there would be no more moments had you not rescued me. You have taught me that life is not a matter of milestones, but a matter of moments. And now I understand, truly understand, the significance of Swasa di Mala na Simra Tera Naam. With every breath, I recite your name. You once said to me, Paat andar chalde rehna chahiye. Chalde firde apne guru nu yaad karo. Har pal. So remember your guru every moment because you just don't know what's in store. Life is priceless, and every moment is an opportunity to remember him and to become one with him. अपनी ईगो ਨੂੰ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਉਤਾਰੋ ਔਰ ਫਿਰ ਦੇਖੋ ਨਜ਼ਾਰੇ. Cast aside your ego and then see the wonders. Damini and I had gone to a Sangat's home that same afternoon of the impending accident. And on being asked by the lady if Damini believed in Guruji, she had motioned her hand to mean maybe just a little, like children do. After being saved from the accident, however, Damini confessed to me later that she had little belief in him until that very moment, because that moment she visibly saw the miracle of both the cars stopping just in time for us to reverse back and to go home. She said the accident wouldn't have happened anyway because Guruji was bound to protect us, but it was to give her a wake-up call. From that moment on, I would see Guruji's photograph on her BBM status as well as Jai Guruji written below it. Such are Guruji's ways of connecting young minds to him as they are to pave the way for the generations to come. It's only when something is on the verge of being taken away from us we begin to understand its value. And when it's taken away from us, it could be anything. Then we really understand the how precious it was to us. Guruji has granted his life after life without our ever realizing or acknowledging. He blesses us every waking moment and during our sleep too. He is with us. He prevents diseases from manifesting and also heals us at times without us ever realizing. So gupt blessings bhi dete rehte hain Guruji. Our remedy for every ailment, physical, financial, emotional, or spiritual, is all him. From a jungle of suffering, he moves us to a garden of serenity and salubrious living. Naam bij lo, so his name, he said. So his name, his love, and his light. And that is what is bound to grow. Whatever we sow, so we reap. Roses of compassion, calmness, and contentment will bloom all around, exuding love and harmony as they do in his temple. And as they do in his temple. My Guru Parivar comprises many pure souls who have been converted, poor souls who have been converted into pure souls. They exude Guruji's love and their aura is filled with his presence. Their hearts beat for him, and whatever activities they engage in is all for him. Through the highs and lows of their journey, they have learned to value life, love, and his eternal light. Shalini Khera, my Guru sister, is an inspiration to me and always has been, as she shares a pure and unconditional love for our Guruji. Quote unquote, Satsang by Shalini Khera. Guruji's Paramatma, Param Atma, divine soul, is the master of all the universe, the supreme light and the supreme energy. After coming to Guruji, I witnessed a host of changes taking place in my life. Firstly, I gained mental peace, harmony, and was spiritually uplifted. He taught us Ishwar ka rasta and Ishwar se pyar. The path to God is to love God. Earlier, I was a very negative person, but after taking refuge in him, I have developed a positive frame of mind. My husband, the son of a prominent insurance man, was pleasantly surprised when he visited Guruji for the very first time. Guruji told him his father's name, pointing out that he was the son of Khera, well known in the field of insurance. As we kept going to Guruji, many of my husband's business problems were resolved. 2 years ago, I too bore testimony to one of Guruji's many healing miracles. I had a serious medical condition. I could not see clearly from the corner of my eyes. I visited many eye specialists. My retina was tested and many other tests were carried out, but all results were normal. Doctors were not able to diagnose the problem. At last, I turned to Guruji. Guruji told me to bring a copper tumbler and to drink water from it. From the day I started using the tumbler, my vision became fine. However, a few years ago, I suddenly had fainting spells. I went to specialists who dealt in spinal injuries, to senior neurologists and orthopedic surgeons, but they were unable to help me. After suffering from 4 months and more and going from one specialist to another, I was truly fed up. I got all the scans and an MRI done, but my problem persisted. I was bedridden and severely depressed. I once again went to Guruji with my problem. I told him that I was unable to sleep at night because I felt severe vibrations all over my body. He told me that he had blessed me and I should have langar slowly. With his blessings, I was soon relieved of my ailment. When I came to Guruji, after he had healed me, he told me that he had blessed me with a new life. My rebirth was solely due to Guruji's grace. So when Guruji said, and this is very important, when we consume langar prasad in a satsang or going to Bade Mandir, Chota Mandir, wherever we are, when we're having langar prasad, it must be consumed in silence. Why? Because we are at that moment with every bite saying thank you to Guruji. And thank you, Guruji, for healing us on the soul and the physical level and the mental level and the spiritual level. So whatever bhav we have at that point is what manifests in our body. So if we're eating it as food, as a meal, then that's what it is. It's calories. But if we eat it as medicine, we must surely eat it consciously and slowly, like he said, and silently. My husband had many serious my husband too had a serious back problem, said Shalini. He was on medication for months, but his back pain was increasing by the day. He went to several hospitals, but the doctors were unable to arrive at a diagnosis. The pain was so severe that for a couple of months my husband was unable to sleep. I went to Guruji and told him about it. Guruji inquired about my husband's condition the next time I visited him. I told him that he was still not fine. Guruji asked me to stop all medications and to start giving him turmeric and milk at night. As simple as that. The night he started taking turmeric milk, believe you me, my husband's backache was a thing of the past. So as simple remedies, Guruji sometimes heals us. On 31st January, when again we had an opportunity to have Guruji's darshan, he told us that he had blessed us, and from now on, my husband would not have any problems. Since that day, my husband has not experienced any pain. He says he feels Guruji has given him superpowers. Since I have come to Guruji, my life has been transformed. Of course, we all feel that coming to Guruji, connecting with him, remembering him is truly transformational, and nothing else is. We may go to healers for lives and lives, for hours and hours every day, but nothing can heal us the way Guruji can heal us. He heals us from the soul level. And of course, therefore, it's a journey. Guruji guides us at every step of life. We just have to think about him from the heart, and there he is. We are all extremely fortunate that Guruji is with us. Jai Guruji, thank you for enabling me to read, and I hope you're enjoying it. And tomorrow we will read chapter 29. Thank you, Jai Guruji.
Thank you, Auntie. Beautiful reading. And yes, of course, we are enjoying very, very much. And there are so many takes to be taken on a daily reading. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Jai Guruji.